Hey, Center fans, welcome back. It is Victory Day. We had our opener yesterday. OU beat Illinois State 35-3. There was some good, there was some bad, and we'll try to get into all of it up next.
That's my standard. That's my standard. My champion standard. Champion standard. Pull up with the answers. Yeah, the answers. The champion standard. Champion standard. Yeah, yeah. That's my standard. My champion.
Yeah, victory in the books. Before I forget, Rob, it's the beginning of the show, and I'm going to ask everyone to download, like, and subscribe. I know you're shocked, and I caught you off guard.
There we go.
I know I caught you off guard. I actually remembered. I made myself a sticky note reminder. Yeah, please subscribe, everyone. We'd really appreciate it. A win is a win, right?
Yeah.
35-3. Nothing to, gripe about. I mean, there is, but I feel like that Illinois State team was like, if they were in FBS, they would be like middle of the road kind of team. They wouldn't be a Kent State. They'd probably be a team fight for bowl eligibility every year kind of team.
Yeah,
I thought they were pretty sound, but yeah, victory in the books. I can dive into our 5 takeaways if you want, unless you got some early dialogue here.
No, let's get into your takeaways. I'm kind of curious of what you got going on.
Yeah, there's some obvious one.
Yeah, don't forget about the transition.
Yeah, I forgot about the transition, man. It's a new season. It's only been a year since we had the transition.
I got a transition forever.
Yeah, you do. I should know better. First one, John Mateer setting a quarterback debut record at OU, 392 passing yards. Pretty damn impressive. And I will say, even though he played the whole game, it was kind of a quiet 400 yards. Just a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah.
30 of 37, 81%, I think. Percentage completion, which you'll take that, any day of the week. Yeah. That's some good stuff, man. That's like Sam Bradford-esque, I think.
Yeah. And I think he had like 12 explosive plays. Let me pull that up real quick.
Okay.
No, I've got the play-by-play stuff. It's all though.
He didn't run much. There was a few times that he did get out and scramble and run some, but you could tell they weren't, quarterback run game wasn't necessarily a part of their game plan. He did get out like he normally does, and
he had like one zone read, I think, where he read the DN wrong. But besides that, they are trying to get away from that a little bit. So I've got 15 explosive plays throwing the football. And then we had Burks that ran one, and then we got Blaylock that had 2. We had 15 explosive plays to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different receivers. 8 with Jacob Jordan.
9.
Well, 9. I'm looking at within the explosive play parameter.
Oh, I got you. Sorry.
Yeah, like 1, 2, 3. Wait, so Deion Burks, Jaron Kanak, Keontae Lewis, Will Huggins, Torrey Blaylock, Isaiah Sategna, Keontae Lewis, and Jacob Jordan.
Wow. That's
8 guys. 8 guys had passing plays over 10 yards. That's pretty good. And different ways too. I mean, they're from
crossers to
later,
whatever. Yeah. A couple of seam routes there, I think, to Kanak. That kind of leads into my second takeaway, and this is kind of a question for you, sort of.
Okay.
I know you like being caught off guard with the questions, but I'm just kidding. This one's easy. I'm going to give you 3 names.
Okay.
Tory Blaylock, Jaron Kanick,
Uh-huh.
Keontez Lewis.
Oh.
Which one were you the most surprised of their performance?
Oh,
Of
Kanak.
those 3. Kanick?
Yeah, Kanak. Yeah. Yeah, Kanak.
Yeah, for me it was Kanick 1 and maybe Blaylock 1A just because,
Yeah.
freshman coming in and, taking the reins in the backfield yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kanak, I think he got maybe 5 balls. I need to pull up the stats here in front of me. He looked good.
Mhm.
He looked good out there. I'm not, you're more the trench guy, so you're sometimes paying attention to, the blocking going on. I'm just watching skilled players run around. I never
Sure.
look in the trenches like you and JY.
Yeah.
But no, he got out, and I know Mateer missed him there later in the game. If he could have just left him a little space to run underneath it, might have had another one for 6. But yeah, it surprised me that he got the number of snaps he did.
Yes, that's what I mean by surprise, because we kind of knew his athleticism. We knew that he could run, but it's the usage so early in the season and as much 12 personnel that we were in with 2 tight ends on the field. I mean, I was really surprised them because tight end for all of off season and all of everything, we just bashed the hell out of the tight end room. And here we go. We're in 12 personnel like 12% of the time. And that was a little higher than I thought we were going to be. I mean, 11 personnel, we knew we were going to have a tight end on the field. We weren't going to be a 10 personnel team. That was never going to happen. But the usage of how many targets he got, how many targets Kanak got, and the usage of 12 personnel with 2 tight ends on the field was surprising, but it was a good surprising because they did pretty well. Blocking definitely is an issue. They need to rep some stuff out. I'm not going to bash them today at all.
Right.
Maybe later in the season they're going to get better over time, but there were some blocking issues. I mean, simply not knowing where to go, but they'll rep that out. I think that tight end room might actually be pretty. It's gonna be good, and I like how Arbuckle got Kanak involved so early. It was early in the game. It wasn't like, I mean, it was a point in emphasis to get him the ball early, and once they did that, start getting Kanak the ball more, you could tell that Illinois State was kind of like, oh, whoa, this is different. And then what they did is they brought in that Will Huggins in to kind of be your blocking tight end, so to speak, layman terms, basically. But after they got Kanak going in the pass game, they brought in Will Huggins to be kind of the blocker and kind of hiding Kanak a little bit in the block game, which is fine. You can get away with that for sure. But yeah, I think that was definitely a surprise, Kanak, for sure.
Yeah. Good surprise for sure. Yeah, you kind of are leading me into my third takeaway, and it's that running game.
Yeah.
I hate to bring up, one of the bad things that happened yesterday, but that running game, I'm not going to say non-existent, but just wasn't good. Saw a lot of the same stuff we saw from last year from the running backs, just some dancing around and not hitting holes, except for one guy. Tory Blaylock seemed to know where the holes were or made his own.
No, you have it. I watched back and broke down the entire offense over the last few hours, and there's definitely an issue when you have a fifth-year senior, and I'm not going to blame Javonte Barnes for it. There's some sort of disconnect there, whether it's coaching, but understanding some of the concepts that they put on the field yesterday in wide zone, inside zone, duo, and dart, like Tory hit on every single one of those play concepts. He hit on every single one of them. And Barnes, at some point in the game, missed on every single one of them.
Right.
And there's some sort of like there's read, you got to read your blocks. The blocks tell where the running back to go.
Right. Right.
I mean, and if the fourth down call with Barnes, he should have went to the left. Everything told him to go left, but he went right. It's just that simple. And so um I'm not sure. I think Torrey has to be your one, and Torrey has to be your one, and he has to get a lot of touches, and Barnes can come in and spell. I mean, and then I'm not sure kind of talk about that running
Yep.
back room.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the hell's
Yep.
going on with Jay Knott.
I
I don't know
don't.
if he's in the doghouse or something.
It has to
But
be
it's
something
really
like
weird.
that. No, it
It's
has to be
weird,
something
Brad.
like that. You don't give a guy a junk one carry at the end of the game if something's not up.
Dude, I don't know what's going on, but that's really strange.
Yeah,
That's really strange.
if he's in the doghouse, I'm gonna find out where that doghouse is this week and try to let him out of it because I think we're gonna need him. I think we're gonna need him this week.
Yeah,
I
but
would love to have Blaylock and Ott with their game breaking ability both be able to get 15 carries each or whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, the Torrey, that is a very that's another, it's up there as yeah, like you mentioned earlier, like 1A, 1B as far as the surprise of having a freshman come in and look as good as he did. Dang, dude, I mean, he's got some wheels. I mean, and you got to have his running backs, you have to have that, I don't want to say like one cut and go, but like make your decision and go. Like you shouldn't be running into the back of your offensive lineman every other play. Like it should be one cut, go, decision and go. Make your decision fast and go.
Yeah. Kennedy Brooks, was one of the most recent guys that was able to do that. Be able to find your hole and just don't hesitate. Like you said, just go. Offense wise, we've covered most of them. But Keontae Lewis was obviously a real bright spot. We heard a lot of stuff about him. I think you might have commented yesterday that you're excited now to see the Keontae Lewis, Dion Burks, Isaiah Sategna. That trio could be awesome. And we're not even mentioning Giovanni Gibson and a couple other guys that could get in the mix here really soon. But yeah, I'm with you. That would be a very explosive group of guys. Those three could be very good. When we saw, they like to use Dion. I think they ran that little, I don't know if it was a reverse, but that one play behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
They like to use him in a lot of different ways also. And Sategna is just very dependable and really liked what I saw from him in the return game.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if that guy didn't take one or two to the house this year, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, offense, had a couple of turnovers. I think we score 42 points if we don't turn the ball over with the fumble there by Kanak early in the game, and then Mateer just kind of a poor pass on that interception. But moving over to defense, defensively, for playing as vanilla as they did, I felt like the defense was sound, even though they may have given up a little more rushing yards than we would have liked to that group. They took away the passing game.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I got, what do I have?
They had like a 90% stop rate.
Yep.
That is on rundowns, stop an offense from gaining at least 2 or 3 yards. So as far as stop rate goes, they're pretty high. What I was actually surprised was that their havoc rate was only like 8%. They had 4 tackles for a loss and 2 sacks and 0 pass breakups. So havoc, again, just to kind of remind people, havoc is not just like plays, like it's negative yards and pass breakups. I mean, that's kind of how you can isolate it basically on the defensive line if you want to, but generally havoc is like causing havoc. So negative yards beyond the line, behind the line of scrimmage. We only had 8% of all the snaps, and that I thought that was kind of low for FCS opponent. And just for reference, last year, Temple, we had like a 22% havoc. So I thought that was a little weird. I haven't had a chance to
Hmm.
look at the defensive film today because I had some issues with the offensive film getting loaded in a quick cut. But we got defense in there as well. But I want to kind of look as to why that is. There's always opportunity. There's opportunities for havoc and sacks and all of that. So
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
kind of curious as why that was. I was at the game. It's kind of hard for me to see, um, really study it when the play happens so fast. And you have to have that quick cut rewind, to be able to rewatch it over and over again. But my
Right.
guess, and I'm hoping it's not true, is that our linebackers are not fitting the run, or they're not, or we were not. Because I noticed that we didn't run any sim pressures at all. There was
Mhm,
no
mhm.
creepers and sims in this game. So like you said, it was pretty vanilla, but I want to watch back to see why we didn't cause as much havoc as we did. Maybe on Wednesday we can take a look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of guys we expected to make plays did make plays. I liked seeing Kendall Daniels, around the ball a lot. Um,
Yeah.
we heard a lot about him, and I think we saw that. Uh, my fifth takeaway is, Cortland Guillory. The guy did not look like a freshman with deer in headlights.
Yeah.
He looked good. He was aggressive, maybe a little over aggressive at times, but I still say you would rather reel a guy in than to have to coach a guy to be aggressive. And so I thought he looked good for his first game out.
Yeah.
Um, and Gentry was moving around well. I didn't, we're all concerned and just waiting for him to go like that. And I
He
didn't see
looked
that
good.
yesterday. So
Yeah.
I
He
was
looked good.
happy. He did. And
He
until
looks
we
the
can
part,
get,
man.
yeah, yeah.
He looks the
If we
part
can
when
get
he
if we can get Bowen and Dolby back, I think that foursome in the secondary is going to be really, really, really strong.
Yeah,
Um,
if you got a boundary and a field corner that can X guys out,
mhm.
that's going to help the safeties so much because the safeties got, and our zone players in the middle, of course. They get eaten alive with all those crossers. You're going to run a lot of zone. You're going to be playing grass. Like, you got to have guys that can have a good natural feeling out there. And Gentry and Dolby would be awesome. I still like to see them both on the field. I
Mhm.
want to study a whole game, and I kind of understand like what our identity would be. I'm hoping that we kind of drift away from all the cover six that we like to play and play a little bit more match coverages, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, yeah. To me, it was a good first game. You
Hmm.
definitely, as weird as it sounds, I always like to come out of first game with a few concerns. Like, you don't want to come out and feel like you played this perfect game and like they don't feel like there's anything to improve on going into week 2.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah,
just kind of like, oh, that was easy. We'll be able to show up next week, do the same thing. No, I want them to get coached up
yeah,
and
yeah,
realize they made some mistakes. Because I think the opponent kind of steps up a little bit this next week. So,
sure, yeah.
what else? I thought Arbuckle and Mateer just totally look like guys that have been around each other for the last several years. So that
Oh yeah,
showed just
oh yeah,
totally in sync. Mateer just had command of the team, and I never saw some of the stuff that we did last year. Um, I don't think I just never saw anything that looked like anything that resembled confusion on that
right.
side of the ball.
No, I think there's already an identity developing on the team,
Mhm.
and we'll get into that after Michigan because I want to see another game. But I have suspicion that this offense with those three guys that you mentioned earlier, Lewis and Burks and Sategna, add Kanick to that now, 4. And if you've got a pass catching running back and Blaylock, you can be cooking. But based on some of the calls that Arbuckle had in this last game, I think they're already working towards an identity, especially in the pass game and the run game.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept it pretty low key, but just some of this, like the more, I would just say I don't know what a good word would be, but the deeper they got into they got deep into some tags on specific plays that it made me go, that's interesting. To where different than what Ben Arbuckle did at Washington State. So the identity for Washington State's pass game was sail. Like that was their route concept that they just loved, was sail and Y cross. So they were digging into weak side and strong side flood over and over again. In this last game, there was no sail. There was no Y cross. There was no mesh. So either they're sticking really limited playbook in the past game, or they decided, hey, we're going to run this other concept and we're going to major in that, because they have 5 pass catchers. Washington State, Kyle Williams, Chris Hudson, great receivers, but their receiver 3 and 4, not very good. And so they had to use them in different ways, and isolating Kyle Williams on an X and run Y cross was kind of Washington State's MO. And this offense with Ben Arbuckle and Mateer, we've said it over and over again about how the number of weapons, the athletes that you're going to have on the team. I think Arbuckle's really leaning on trying to get all 5 of these guys, or trying to find 5 pass catchers. You've got 3 receivers and a tight end that can run. If they can find a pass catching running back, Brad, you can find 5 guys that can get you to spread the ball around. And you already know Mateer knows his offense like the back of his hand. I got the feeling that this offense could look different than what Arbuckle had last year and get 5 guys involved. I don't know. I've got this eerie, this sixth sense going on, but I don't want to say it because it'll be people the copycat, but also I want to watch Michigan to see if we really lean into it again.
Right.
But yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. One of our viewers says the O-line still is questionable. There's a lot of people that are saying that right now, and I don't completely agree with that. Still, we were missing 3 starters first game of the year, very vanilla.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm not going to be able to judge that unit for another couple of weeks, because we know how Beedenbow is. That he just builds on each week. We'll get some guys back. I think we're going to see a different unit, and I don't think we're going to have the same question marks after this coming week, even though it's a tougher opponent. I just think they'll look so much better if they can get a couple of guys back.
I'll say this: there was nothing the O-line did in this last game that really move my needle as far as being questionable. Not yet. Let's see them go and play Michigan. But what was on the field on Illinois State last night was not O-line. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll end up having, I don't think Blaylock, or I don't know how to say his name, is going to start at left tackle again. Foji, the run that he got at guard. I hope, maybe we'll see. But let's get to Michigan. Let's get them to a game where you'll have Derek Moore of Michigan and all the Damon Payne and some of these other guys are some big dudes on Michigan. We'll see if they get pushed around. But as far as what I saw in my rewatch was, no, the offensive line's fine. The issues of some of the, you had John Mateer that had a quarterback replay that went for negative yards. You had Javonte Barnes, who should have ran to his left instead of right. All his reblocks told him to go left. He went right, and we didn't get it. There was a lot of those plays where it was either the tight end, didn't block right and counter, or it was the running back that didn't read right, or a quarterback that didn't read right, as far as you're like those plays where you're kind of like scratching your head, like, what the hell, we should have got this. I didn't see an offensive line bust. Not one time. I didn't see it. Yeah. Now, I think talent-wise, Brad, we can get better by
Sure.
just, what's his name? Blenko, I mean, wasn't he like 4th or 5th in fall camp or something like that, Brad? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
he was definitely second, third string kind of
Yeah.
guy. Yeah,
And
no.
Fasusi was held
Yep,
out.
yep.
I think there's opportunity to be better, but this last game, I didn't see an issue with them.
Yeah,
I thought the
you
past
get
game was fine.
yep.
I mean, you
You
can't,
get a
go ahead.
Fasusi, Ozeta, and possibly a Simmons to come back with Howland on the right side. That
Howland
unit
did
can
good.
look. Yeah, and he can get kicked back over to the right, and you can have Fasusi and Ozeta come back in at the left. I just think you could see totally different O-line next week if you can get some of those guys back that we heard the most about in fall camp. We didn't hear much about some of these guys. I know we heard a little bit about Foji, but he kind of looked like a freshman a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
And EPL still got some growing to do into his role, but
Sure. But I mean, I like the way that they were blocking the wide zone. I mean, that's all new to them. They didn't run any of that last year.
yeah,
Zero, none. And it's not them that made the mistake. It was the running backs that were making mistakes on their reads. I mean, the offensive line did really good. Now, there was some like weird things that Arbuckle had, like some on the front side of wide zone. He had an RPO called. That's a little weird because you're going to be running right into it if the defensive end crashes inside, and he did. So there were some weird things I think they'll clean up, but I didn't see an issue with the O-line. I didn't. Not one. Now, again, let's wait till Michigan and let's break that down and see what happens when they play someone big, like some big dudes.
Yeah, I felt like yesterday I noticed a lot of discipline. You didn't see a lot of false starts and a lot of silly penalties yesterday, which is always good. That opener, you want it to be relatively clean, and I thought we saw that. So hopefully that can carry over to next week for sure. I know guys will be a little more amped up, especially on that defensive side. I'm sure we'll have some penalties jumping over that line. RMT is going to want to get to that quarterback next week for sure. But what other things did you notice yesterday? Anything?
I'm excited about the pass game and what it can potentially be. I'm excited for the run schemes that we have because it's pretty diverse, and the O-line did look like they were blocking it well. Defensively, a little strange of the havoc rate, but I kind of liked Gentry looked great. I don't know how much run he got. I'm not sure how much run he got, but I was up in the stands. He looked good, like the exact corner that we need for this upcoming conference schedule. And you add Dolby to that. I'm excited to see how those two turn out. But besides that, just kind of some what I've kind of already said. But
one thing I was disappointed in is Gentry got 31 snaps. By the way, I just looked at it. So
okay, good. That's a good number.
Our kicker got 0 field goal attempts, and that bugs me a little bit. I like him for him to get a couple of kicks under his belt. First game of the season, new environment for him, playing in 80,000 people. So that was a little bit disappointing. There was a couple of fourth downs. I was hoping we weren't going to make it so he could actually try a field goal. But I didn't want his first attempt coming against Michigan, but hopefully he's as good as advertised and there's no concern there. So,
so, I mean, just spelling it out, but Javonte had 7 carries for 9 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want if you want to look at your yards per carry as a team and see where, I mean, that's not great. And then Jaden On only got 1 touch for -3 yards. I don't know. I think if you start the hot hand, you start your real RB1 and Torrey Blaylock, that probably changes a lot. I think people are probably the script will be flipped. Plus, as far as the passing game, we pretty much did whatever the hell we wanted to do. I mean, you had that back shoulder fade to Lewis where he just snatched it out of the hands. Burks again, as a defender, you can't guard those guys any better than that, and they just played bully ball and just took the ball away from them.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. That's another thing that we need to keep an eye on is how good these receivers are going to fight through traffic to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Because in the SEC, our defense likes to run a lot of true zone. The opposing defenses in the SEC like to get in your face and beat you up.
Right.
Different philosophies, they both work, but they'll So
yeah,
seeing how those receivers keep growing, but I really do like what we're getting out of this pass game, man. It has the potential to be something really, really damn good. And if you look across country, look at the quarterbacks like Arch Manning and Sayin and who's the other one that all struggled, Ty Simpson of Alabama. There are quarterbacks that are on our schedule that are not looking good.
Lenore Sellers is struggling as we speak. So
yes, there are quarterbacks on our schedule right now that are struggling just to get like the ball like out of their hands. Like they don't even know they're struggling right now to get over 150 yards.
Right.
So yes, I know it's Illinois State, but we did whatever the hell we wanted to do to Illinois State.
Right.
They were completely lost at times.
I will say I just pulled up the defensive snaps. I wanted to see how many guys played in the game on the defensive side of the ball yesterday, and the number was 30. We had 30 guys get in the game yesterday on the defensive side. Yeah.
Nice.
I felt like it was a lot. I just kept seeing a lot of different numbers, but yeah, that's
good.
That's a lot. And only five of those 30 that played had single digit snaps. So you had 25 guys that had at least double digit snaps on the defensive side of the ball. So you're talking about getting some guys some quality reps yesterday. I mean,
nice.
And never saw an issue on the defensive side, giving up, a 80-yard scoring drive or anything like that, despite all of the substitutions.
Right.
So that's encouraging. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we came out of the game relatively injury-free. I haven't heard of any significant. I think Burks kind of came limping out on one play, but I think he got back in the game. And then Blaylock went to the locker room. I think he got a shoulder stinger from what I understand.
Okay.
That's probably the one I'm keeping an eye on this week, just to make sure that wasn't anything. So yeah.
Honestly, like I think that was about as good as a game as you would want on week one. Obviously, room for improvement and all that.
Right.
But I am not worried about the O-line right now. Like, ask me after Michigan. Yeah. I have the right to change my answer.
Sure.
But today, after
yeah.
watching, I'm not worried about the O-line, man.
I don't have a lot of concerns coming out of that game either, despite us, jumping up in competition this coming week. But hey, do we want to get into a little bit of our film? You want to possibly look at a few plays? I don't want to put you on the spot. I know you're
good.
Film guy.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
While you're pulling that up, I'll just throw out a couple other things. Big win for Florida State yesterday over Alabama. That's probably the biggest, I guess, upset of the day. Florida State did not look like a 2-10 team yesterday, like they did last year.
Yeah.
Getting Gus Malzahn back in that, as their OC, and they just looked really good. And Alabama may have a Kalen DeBoer problem.
I think they do.
I know it's first game of the season, but
they've lost. They've lost four of their last five. Is that right? Four of the last five.
That's not good.
Tuscaloosa is not going to be patient with that, man.
No,
there's no way.
No,
if he goes, they're not going to be kind. If you don't win there, you're gone. Like, they don't care.
Yeah,
you got to win 2 years. They don't care. 2 years. They don't care. They're not. There is no rules over there. It was like 3-4 years. We got to give him time. Hey, I like the guy. No, it's not. Like, if he doesn't win, he's toast. Right. His seat already after 1 week.
It was hot when he got on campus. So
scorching hot. I know, but he is like way more scorching hot than Brent. Like, Brent is not like, I don't know if there's like a hot seat ranking or something,
Right.
but Brent is sitting there in that like hot cool or whatever, but his just like skyrocketed.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
If
want
you
to
had
change
a
my prediction. I want to take my 9-3 and go back to. I want to go to 10-2 and see we beat
easy.
Alabama. I can't do
Yeah.
that now.
Easy. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So yeah. Alabama, going down yesterday. And then, of course, the biggest game of the day was up in Columbus. Just a defensive juggernaut of a game. Both offenses just looked, what's the word we're looking for? Just pedestrian.
Yeah.
Is that a good word for those offenses yesterday? Texas was shut out through 3 quarters. Arch Manning didn't have 100 yards passing until into the fourth quarter. So
man.
there's a lot of memes going around about Arch today. Some people not happy. I saw one earlier this morning that said Arch Manning was adopted. I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh God, that's funny.
But I think he'll do fine. That first game of the year going to Columbus, that was not an easy task for anyone. I don't care, first year quarterback or not. And let's face it, Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator for Ohio State's a good defensive coordinator. You don't coach in the league for several years and not become that. So I don't feel like going from Knowles to Patricia, that defense took a step back, put it that way.
All right.
Yeah.
I think
Were you able to get your film pulled up? Did I kill enough
think-
time, Rob?
I think so. Well, let's I love you. Let's get into it. All right. So let's all right. So I guess it's not really that one. Sorry, I'm trying to match the playbook to the play here.
Oh, okay. If you can pick up on the playbook with the play, I mean, that's good in itself. So
yeah. So this is a old playbook, but this is so we're talking verts. So this is 6. So it's one of the core plays to air raid, right? True air raid. There's like 8 core plays or so. And in this last game, we didn't see no mesh. We didn't see no white cross. We didn't see we saw stick for sure. Stick was in there like at least 4 or 5 times. But I want to talk about verts. And this is like a play that's super versatile. You can tag the crap out of it. You can basically put guys anywhere you want. And going into this game, I was actually kind of surprised to see verts run as much as it was. And story verts, right? Mike Leach, Michael Crabtree, game-winning drive to beat Texas to cause that 3-way tie. They called 6 times in a row, and it's not a play. Ironically, even it's 6 is, hey, we're gonna go score a touchdown. It's not a play where you actually like. It's really made for the open field because you're causing so much horizontal stress, right? You got 4 guys that are going vertical, but there's a lot of ways you can tag it, and there's a lot of ways you can play it. But you're attacking seams, you're attacking the middle of the field, and in this particular play that I want to take a look at, it's actually the 4th play of the game with Kanak, and that's why it was so surprising to see Kanak have so much success that he had. Was just the way that he's very comfortable in running in the open middle field for a guy who was a converted linebacker last year. And I know he played high school ball, but if that were to continue, this is a play that I would think it's going to be like one of our I don't know, base camp kind of play. But so what do you got? You got your X, your Y. Really, it's just get upfield move. You're really. I know this playbook just shows like one sit, but really all these guys can either this Z receiver here and your H receiver are going to get tagged a lot, and your Y, of course, or your outside boundary or field receiver can get tagged a lot. You can get this receiver here to run a drive. You can have your running back run the vertical, but essentially you're like just shading field spacing, right? It's just, you're just tagging, moving different people around. So in this particular play in front of us, this is like super base. This is like stuff that you go through like spring, and again, this is like the spring spring ball. This is the spring game from like 3 or 4 years ago or so. X receiver vertical, but the reason why this play is so difficult to defend, especially on safeties, is that there's no they can't drive on the ball. Like if you can imagine a safety here and a safety here, you can't, like if you ran like a flood, they can like collapse down onto the play like horizontally, or from their spot they can drive down and take away a vertical and take away a flood route, or flood concept. What makes this play so hard is because if you're a safety, you can't defend both these verticals. Like it's impossible. Like you can't be sitting back and then try to on the travel of an air ball get from one spot or to the other. It's very difficult to be able to, especially if you got a single high safety to go from left to right. So, and this is just says, hey, verticals by the outside receivers, seams by the inside. H is trying to get to the opposite hash. The F of the running back has a check and stay in unless tagged. So if very easily, if coach says, hey, AC flip 6, drive, the Y would drive, and then the running back would hear that tag and replace him. So if there's a tag, he could literally say, I replaced that vertical. So and then if stop is tag, it becomes first read. Any blitz, H is hot. So if there's a blitz, and we'll see on film, if the blitz, the H is thinking, hey, I'm the hot read, and I need to play myself open for any hot. And then ability to tag outside receivers. So that could be post, like skinny post. It could be like a bender. It could be a deep over. But really, you're essentially trying to get 4 guys on either the outside of the numbers, outside the hash, and on the numbers, in different ways with different people.
Okay.
So let me go to my quick cut, and we can take a look at the 4th play of the game with Kanak. So here we go. Same setup. You're going to end up getting basically like almost you're getting a blitz look, right? So you're getting this look here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's double. Is that double mug? Yeah, it looks like they're double mugged up there. Backers are double mugged. So right now, Kanak is thinking, okay, I'm hot. Like I gotta work myself open immediately. Like my quarterback is most likely going to get pressure here, and so his path is not going to necessarily get to this spot again. 4 verticals are these 4 spots in the field. He's trying to work to that vertical there in a 3-by-1 set. But because they're hot, because, hey, I need to be available for my quarterback in case he's pressured, I'm going to find a spot in the middle of the field. And for a guy who was in the linebacking room for how long, and now is playing basically outside as a receiver, to understand the look that the defense is giving me, the open area in the field that I need to work to. And so we'll just go ahead and let this play. So what do you see? I'll pause it real here. There's vertical 1. There's vertical 2. He's working to vertical 3. He sits because he's capped. He reads he's capped by the from this cover 3, so he's going to sit. And then you've got Kanak, who decides, hey, hot. I'm going to sit, find the open area, makes a great catch. I understand he fumbled. I don't care. But that was really, for the 4th play of the game and the work that they put in with Kanak to be able to run something like this is pretty sick, dude. And that's why I'm getting really excited about what this offense could do with having a guy like Kanak on the out, Kanak, and a guy like
Blaylock,
and then you got someone like Blaylock who can can replace different play. Yeah, I mean, this is really, really, really cool. And I didn't see a whole lot of this in Washington State. Yes, it was a part of their game, but um, this is really good to see a guy who was barely, cracking into the linebacking rotation, and then here he is making a great catch, running 4 verts, understanding to get himself open in case that there's pressure. Now there is no pressure, they back out of it, and what does he do? I mean, he doesn't panic. He just keeps doing his thing and makes a great catch.
Yep.
And we ran verts like I think 5 or 6 other times in this game in different ways that should get Sooner fans excited for pushing the ball downfield.
So would you say there's no panic in Kanick?
No panic in Kanak. I really liked what he did. Especially some of this so early in the season.
He looked comfortable.
And yeah.
He also looked like Drake Stoops the first time he caught a pass. I was like, what's Drake doing on the field?
Yeah. So we'll go to some more tight end game. This is another one. This is the fourth quarter. I love this formation. I love the double yo-yo, double Y off. The reason being is that when he's off, you can slice, do split zone either way. You can arc better. You can obviously work back. And then you can still, here's the thing I put this play in is that you don't normally see Y off tight ends work vertical. It's usually, if they want to have a tight end go vertical, they just put them on the line, but because how, Arbuckle, I think he's getting kind of creative here, and we'll see it hopefully in the next few games of what he's going to end up doing. I have a feeling what he's going to end up doing with the wide zone, but having double Y off and then sending them both vertical up to go get a pass is something you do not see very often, Brad. Like, this is not normal.
You put a ton of stress on linebackers when you do that.
And so what is he doing? He's kind of, it's an angle. I mean, the play is an angle pass, right? It's an angle route, but he's mixing it in to make it kind of look like he's arcing. It's making it kind of like he's trying to, what do you think? Like an arc block. So obviously that's not an arc block, but as a linebacker and a safety, if you're going to start mixing in some angle passes like this and start actually working in some arc block stuff too, that would be starting to melt some keys, man. Like, you could start doing some funky stuff. So I put that in there. I was like, ooh, that's a good one. And again, this is that Huggins? Huggins 81. Yeah. There's no look of it, but the tight end usage was surprisingly higher than I thought. The 12 personnel stuff. Mm-hmm. I knew we were going to be 11 personnel. I knew we were going to be 11 personnel. It was just, I didn't realize the Kanak playing so well, catching the ball, running routes. I didn't realize we were going to run so much higher 12 personnel. I got to get my dashboard set up. I was running a little bit issues, but we'll be tracking formations. We'll be tracking all the disruptors and everything week to week. The other play I want to take a look at is Deion Burks' interception. I don't know. He sits in the zone. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. The only issue is that he needs to work in a straight line back to his quarterback. And what he ends up doing is he kind of drifts to his left. So he sits in the zone just fine. But he's doing the decision to sit was correct. But he drifts to his right and he makes it a harder throw or harder catch to catch the ball because Mateer is expecting him to work directly back. When you sit in the zone, especially in these outside receivers, they've got corner and usually a safety over the top, and you might even have a backer that's going to undercut you. You have to work directly back to the quarterback. Honestly, non-issue. This is literally, they're going to hop in film, and Deion's going to be like, yeah, I should do a better job of doing that. And that's it. It ends up being a pick. Just a great play by the defense. I'm not worried about it at all. Besides that, Mateer had a fantastic game. Burks had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But this is just one of those things where I in the stands, people are like, just and I'm like, it just looked like he sat in the zone. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He just needs to work directly in a straight line back to the quarterback instead of drifting off to the right. He does that. It's a completed catch, and we don't.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, we pitch a shutout if it not for that one play.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
So
in the last one, the last play, this is dagger. So this is again 12 personnel. Awesome, love to see it. And then what we're gonna get is we're just gonna get a quarters look. Quarters. You got your flat player. They're playing stump over here to the field side. I can't draw. Stumpedicious. And Keontae Lewis, they're running dagger. I should have drawn dagger. Dagger. There we go. Dagger. Everyone's played Madden before. There's your dagger. Dagger, the dig, great zone beater. And really, this play happens because this safety right here doesn't know what the heck he's doing. Being that, well, the R1 over here gets eliminated. So as soon as he sees this, he's supposed to turn back, ride this hash, and wait for anything coming back in. I mean, that's his rule. And he does not. He kind of does, but he kind of falls on his face, and we walk in for a score.
Yeah.
But great play call. I thought the play calling was on point. Like everything about it was on point. He called, and the decision making from Mateer on point. This is what an offense is supposed to look like. If you're a casual fan and you're watching this past game, it should feel like everything made sense to you, and it does because they did the man beaters were right, the zone beaters were right, the calls were great, Mateer was great. We made a couple of mistakes that were easily correctable, communication and stuff like that. I think we should be feeling really optimistic of what this offense is going to be putting on the field each week. I think we're going to be incredibly competitive in games. I think we're going to be one of those teams that are going to be, we could be down 14, and I know everyone will be panicking. I don't think I'll be panicking until it's 0-0, because the number of guys that can run from different spots is pretty awesome. So again, you got a heavy last play. Sorry, I lied, Brad. One more. Do you have any questions?
No, I was just going to say
on the broadcast.
I don't think we've got any yet. But one thing I noticed yesterday, Mateer had 37 pass attempts.
Yeah,
I felt like he led his receivers like very good. I never saw a guy having to reach back behind himself trying to catch balls, and just little stuff that last year we did not see. There was open guys last year that Arnold couldn't find to save his life. I just felt like Mateer was able to throw his guys open or throw it to the right spot, except for maybe that one to Burks, but just on the money, very accurate. Never saw a lot of making it hard on his receivers, put it that way.
This is just an awesome catch, man.
There's another one,
and we need more of that right there. If our receivers can make contested catches like that week in and week out, this offense is going to light the world on fire. But we got to see it again, and it's going to be against better athletes and everything. But this is about as good as you could possibly get. And I like the willingness for Mateer to throw this ball, because I think other quarterbacks would have not have been able to take the chance. And then not only that, but the ball placement on this is ridiculous. Like, this is like ridiculous, Brad. And like last year, breaking down Washington State, I'm not surprised by this at all, because he did stuff like this where it was just great throws, really great throws.
Yeah, you want a guy that's got a belief in his arm and trust his receivers and not just tentative back there.
Yeah.
You don't want a guy playing scared, and I don't think Mateer is. So
No, dude, he's I wouldn't say he's like Brett Favre, where he's like, what do they call it? Like gunslinger. I wouldn't
Yep.
really quite say he's a gunslinger, because gunslinger to me means like he's recklessly throwing the ball.
Right.
And
Right.
and it's like one of those, like, you're hoping for a hard ceiling, but he's going to throw a bunch of picks.
Mhm.
The guy doesn't throw a lot of interceptions because he reads man coverage. He knows where to put the ball. He reads zone coverage. He knows where to put the ball. And last year, he had 44 total touchdowns, and he had, I think, 8 total turnovers.
Right.
So, like, the guy doesn't throw a lot. So he's not really a gunslinger, but he will throw that damn rock. Like, he'll throw it. He'll sling the pill, man. Like, it's great.
And he will throw some picks this year, just because he will, try to put some in some tight windows. But and then the SEC too, he's going to go up against a lot better talent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, if he has those same, if he only has 8 turnovers this year, I'll take it.
No,
Is,
yeah.
is,
Oh, of
is
course,
that
yeah.
likely? Probably not, but
I don't know.
definitely take it. Yeah, that's a good
Mhm.
number. If you give me 8, I'll take 8.
Yeah. Give me 8 and have 40 touchdowns. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Take that.
yeah,
Take that to the bank, man.
exactly. No, he looked great. Yeah, those are some good plays to show there. It felt like you had plenty to pick from this week for sure.
Yeah.
on
I
the
did.
offensive side.
I could spend like a whole nother hour just going
Yeah.
through stuff, but I thought those got the point across. There's still some little bit of work to be done, just some tweaks. Pass game looks awesome. Run game scheme wise, awesome. Everything that I expected to see was there. I thought the O-line did good. I think we've got a lot of pass catchers in this offense. I think
Mhm.
Arbuckle's going to have so much fun distributing the ball around. I think Mateer's going to have so much fun distributing the ball around. I'm really excited to see if they can find a running back that can run the ball, decision making, but also the pass catching element. I want to see
Yeah.
some. I want to see. Did the running backs have any targets? Do they
Yes,
have any
I'm looking at it right here, Rob. Running backs: Xavier Robinson had 2. Jaden Ott had 1 target.
No, that has to change. That
So
has to change.
Three
That if there was
targets
any,
for the running back. Oh,
no,
I'm sorry, 5. I forgot Blaylock.
that has to change. We need to up our targets on these backs. Torrey has to play more. Torrey has to be your starter, and he has to get some pass catching opportunities.
Yeah.
You get that going, and you got Kanak and those 3 receivers, especially Burks. Dude, you could do whatever you want. Like the playbook's open. Like you can do whatever you want. It's just depending like what philosophy that you want to like stick with. But damn, we got to find a running back we got to get running backs more involved in the pass game.
Well, I think the 3 guys that we just mentioned that were targeted yesterday are your 3 receiving backs.
Yeah,
I think Blaylock, X-Rob, and Ott are all good coming out of the backfield receiving. So I'm with you. Who's going to be that guy that just steps up and does it?
I just really want to see one running back get like 20 carries and like 8 targets.
Yeah.
Like, can we get one running? Can we stick to one running with a hot hand and just let him be hot? What do the kids say? Let him cook or whatever. They got the Toy Story guy. And he's like, let him cook, Woody. Let him cook.
Right.
Like, we got to have that. We want a running back that's going to get 20 carries, run the rock, get 8 to 10 targets. You got Kanak doing his thing, and then Burks and Sategna and Lewis. That's what we want to see.
Yeah. This game, the run to pass ratio was 32 to 37.
Okay.
I don't know what Arbuckle, the last few years. I really don't know what his ratio was. You probably mentioned it in some of our summer pods.
It was, he was higher on the passing end. Everyone took the run, the rushing and passing yards, but the calls were heavily to the passing side,
like
because
60,
the Tiers
40
scrambled. Yes,
maybe?
it was.
Okay.
I would say like 58 42, something like
Okay.
that.
I was
Something like
getting
that.
ready to check your math there.
No, well, because it's all based on calls,
Mhm,
and that's
mhm.
why breaking the tape down like we do, we can actually get the actual call. John Mateer scrambled on passing calls a lot. So, like, the production might have been, 50-50, but the actual call to pass the ball tipped it to more like 58%, if I remember right. It's definitely closer to 60 than 50.
Gotcha.
But we'll see how this it looked like they were trying to keep him from doing that, but at the same time, I don't think he has to scramble as much because he's got a lot of guys that he can distribute the ball to. And that
Yeah.
when you get a pass catching running back as well, dump it down, let the guy work. Like you don't have to. It would be more of that fourth quarter, 7 minutes left to go. Mateer just takes off running for the first time all game and gets a 40-50 yard production, 40-50 yard run just to break the defense's back and play a little hero ball where the defense is sort of he just loses his mind. They just lose their mind knowing that they got all these guys that they have to cover
Mhm.
and he hadn't been running all game. And all of a sudden that's another thing we would want to see.
Yeah. Just looking at the rushing statistics yesterday, I know we already talked about their struggles a little bit. 32 carries, 114 yards. The net average was about 3.2. Like coming like next week, if we can somehow go 30 carries, 150 yards, average 5 yards a carry, I'm going to be tickled pink against that Michigan front.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. We need to stick with the hot hand. I don't care who it is, Blaylock, Ott, X Rob. I don't care. Just some guy, like you just mentioned. Yeah, eight was the most carries yesterday by any running back.
Yeah.
Blaylock had 8, Robinson had 8, Javante Barnes had 7, Mateer had 7, and then you had a couple other guys with single carries.
Yeah.
That's not riding the hot hand at all. That is called
Right.
just letting everybody get some carries is what that was yesterday. So
I'm seeing if well, let's see what happens after Michigan. If that
Yeah.
tendency stays the same, or if I think it sounds like between the two of us, I think Torrey should be number one. Like he should be your number one back and should be able to feed him until he gets tired of being fed.
Should he though?
Well, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Ott, man. Like I said, I mean, it's weird. Like he gets one carry at the end of the game. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
I'm with you. Like we have one game that we've seen, and Torrey looks like the guy. But Jaden Ott that's the guy we got in the portal that is the game breaker, stud, whatever. So that's my expectation. I still think Jaden Ott's supposed to be the guy. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, whatever it was just a one game probation thing for him. Let's hope I hope he runs some stadium stairs this week, and
if he's in trouble,
and
I don't know.
He's all good with coach.
Yeah,
but yeah, we just need 2 or 3 guys. We're going to need all hands on deck this coming weekend. So
yeah,
hopefully he gets more than one measly carry.
Yeah. That's strange.
Yeah. I was trying to see. I thought the game was pretty clean. I was just getting ready to look up penalties. Felt like we only had like 3 or 4, maybe. That sound about right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember it being an issue.
Yeah.
Was it an issue?
I don't think it was.
I mean, I know offense we had a false start and stuff like that, but I don't think it was an issue.
We had 6 for 35 yards.
Okay.
So nothing major there. What else?
I don't know. I mean, I can go into more film if you want me to.
I just like that you had so many plays to pick from, because there's going to be some weeks, Rob, where you only got like maybe 10 to choose from. Let's be honest. You know,
Yeah.
there's going to be some rough weeks where we're like, well, we can show you these 4 good plays.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case, but we know there's going to be some struggles at schedule. The schedule, you already mentioned it. That LSU game obviously looks harder than it did initially because they actually look like they might have a defense. I know we're jumping ahead here.
Did you catch that game?
I did.
Did you see number 14 that had Tradez whatever Green? Holy crap, dude! He's gonna be a problem, dude.
You know who else is a problem? Number 40. Weeks runs all over the damn field. He is a gnat, dude.
Yeah.
He is just an annoying gnat that runs around the field. Anyway, I thought Klubnik was by far the second best quarterback on the field.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't been a fan of his for a while. I think his statistics last year may have been a result of playing in the ACC.
But don't say that. I like the guy.
I know, but to me, Nussmeier looked head and shoulders above Klubnik, at least last night.
I hate LSU so much, man.
I do too.
I can't. I despise them.
I do too.
As much as I do.
I didn't say I liked them. I'm just saying what happened last night doesn't.
It's really hard for me to say anything good about LSU.
but
yeah, no. Nussmeier had a couple of throws there. Yep. He had one to Bauer. That Bauer, and then there was a couple another one. Yeah, he can drop that ball in the breadbasket pretty much anywhere on the field. If you're gonna beat Nussmeier, you got to beat him. Literally, like you have to sack him. Like that's the only way. That's the only way. You
got to knock his block off.
Yeah, I still don't believe he's a great passer when running with the football. Like
right.
I got to get him off his platform. You got to make him uncomfortable.
Yep.
And I was kind of surprised Clemson couldn't do it with Peter Woods and the guys that they got. Like, I'm just kind of surprised that, but
yeah, Aaron Anderson, right? Is it Aaron? Is that his first name? Boy, when he gets the ball in his hands, dude, it's spooky.
Yeah. Yeah, they got some guys, man.
That was it. That was I would say that was that the best road win in the top 25 yesterday? Probably. I would say so, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
they might be number 1 today. Did the rankings come out?
Yeah, good question. I don't know.
I would assume they've probably been 1.
I will look that
now
up
that Texas lost. Woo, Arch Manning hype is going to come crashing down, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not ready to jump on that yet. But I'm lurking in the weeds.
Georgia looked good too. I caught some of them. Zachariah Branch, man.
I know.
I think he's going to get his career resurrected there. I don't know what Riley was doing. I don't pay attention to USC, but I think he made him some money going to Georgia because they're actually going to use him right. I'm not sure what Riley was doing over there or Tebow or whatever, but I think he's going to be a good one for the dogs over there.
Yeah. I think the new polls will actually come out tomorrow. I think those come out on Mondays, if I'm not mistaken. But just kind of scanning down through the top 25, Texas looked a little vulnerable offensively. That did not look like a Steve Sarkisian led offense yesterday. I'll say that much.
Well, what I liked besides Arch not doing too good is that O-line getting worked.
Yep.
I mean, Sark was trying to do the whole, hey, rah, hey, let's get this 4th and 1. Couldn't do it. Goal line stand, couldn't do it. Like that O-line definitely looks like they missed the guys they lost.
Right.
And that should get us excited to take our defensive line because our D line they're going to eat, man. Yep. They're going to eat.
Yeah, Georgia, like you said, they look pretty good, and I'm with you on Zachariah Branch. Alabama, again, look vulnerable. I'm not seeing, I know it's first game of the season, but that was not good effort by their part yesterday at all. So
I didn't watch it. I didn't see
Mhm.
it. I only needed to know what happened with one stat, and that is Alabama only rushed for 34 yards.
Wow.
What? Like, how is that possible?
Right.
Is that I gotta double check that. I also was like sleepwalking when I
No. Yeah, that might be right. Let's
I
see.
saw it out there. I was like, what? What?
That's not right. They had
87.
87 yards.
Okay. So who was it that okay, so they had 31 from Kevin Riley.
Right.
Oh, okay, and Richie. Okay,
Yep.
87.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know
Okay.
what I saw then.
That
Thank
makes more
God.
sense. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't watch it, so
Ryan
maybe I
Williams
should
only
need to watch it. I know
Ryan
it's not
Williams
a,
only had 30 yards receiving, so they kept him in check.
yeah. Is he in? I saw that he's might be in concussion protocol
Oh, really? I
now.
didn't
Yeah,
hear about that. So
but I've got
here's a stat for you, Rob.
yeah.
There was a person for Florida State that had 6 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. Do you know who that was?
No.
One Gavin Salchuk.
Oh, is that where he went? Wow.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
I
he had a touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Wow, good for him.
Uh-huh.
Good for him. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I've got Alabama and Florida State in here. I might give that a watch
Right.
just for fun.
South Carolina did score a couple of late touchdowns. They ended up beating Virginia Tech 24-11 a little while ago while we were on the pod here. Let's see. I think Florida looked pretty good. A&M looked kind of meh at times yesterday. Playing, I think they were UT San Antonio. Ole Miss looked pretty good with their new quarterback. I know the opponent was not so good. Tennessee with Joey Aguilar looked pretty good.
I'm really surprised by that, but I want to wait.
Yep. They were playing Syracuse, so I don't feel like they were playing a complete rum-dum, and they put up 45 points. So Heupel seems to have that, found his replacement for Nico.
Yeah. Nico who?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think for Michigan, we'll do a Wednesday night, X factors and a little bit of data stuff. Wednesday night, and we can take a look at it. A little head to Michigan. We're gonna try to do a Sunday Wednesday pod. Brad, the tailgate was awesome. You're coming next week, right?
I'm coming for the Michigan tailgate next week.
Yeah, we should have some people. It should be a pretty good party. Yeah, it was fun. There was some TF beers that swung by. That was a lot of fun. I think we're gonna have. I think this Michigan game it's gonna be pretty big. So Brad, you got to get yourself mentally ready.
Yeah, no, I'll be ready. Don't worry. There'll be buzz on campus for that game. Plenty of game days there. Don't forget game days there. Come see us at the tailgate. It's gonna be a fun day. Is it a 6:30 kick ish?
I think so.
Does that sound right? It's I don't think it's 6. I want to say it's like, let's see here.
6:30. Yeah,
okay.
6:30.
Yep. ABC national television.
Yeah. And we're, according to ESPN analytics, 53% chance to win.
That's not much, man.
And then the spread is 2.5 to the Sooners.
Huh.
Negative 2.5. Meaning we give up
given 2.5. Yeah.
Given 2.5.
Huh. Okay.
It was 4.5 not long ago. So money's already pushed that way.
Right.
Taking them points. I take the points on that. Golly.
Yeah.
We're not giving any gaming advice on this podcast.
That's right. Right. We do not support gambling. Oh. All right. Yeah. So everybody, I know next week's our first benchmark game. So if you're going, I know that'll be a great atmosphere. Don't sell your tickets to any meat chicken fans.
Try
just
not to.
yeah. As Rob's sign says over his shoulder there, "Don't play like a champion, but cheer like a champion." So hopefully we can get off and finally win our first big game of the season. So appreciate everybody joining us, and we will catch you next week. Take care, Boomer Center.
That's my stand.